Hi, I'm Celeste, and I've been facilitating around 100 workshops. I've been a teaching assistant in TU Delft for a couple of years. And I want to share my experience on how to design workshops for educational purposes in physical context and also in virtual context. In the internet, I've noticed that there are quite prescriptive and fixed advice on designing workshop. For example, make it simple or plan ahead very well or make it relevant for your users. But there is no advice and support on how to design the workshop and what kind of question you should ask yourself and what kind of purposes you want to achieve. So in these small videos, I'm just gonna explain some practical solutions, but also what kind of questions and what kind of variable exist in planning a workshop and structuring your workshop. So I hope you enjoy, and let's go straight to the point. When we design workshops, we consider at first the structure of the workshop. And this depends mostly on how we expect to deliver the content to our students. One way is to create experiences. An example can be working for one day in a company. In this case, students learn from people and the context they're in. One way is learning by practicing a skill. An example can be learning how to use programs on a laptop or how to use design techniques. Another way is to gather knowledge, and this is quite a tricky one. Can be very old-fashioned, like a lecture, but it can also be very new, like learning from a series of people or watching movies. But I will explain this a little bit more in detail in the next video. Next important step is thinking about what type of interaction you want your students to experience. So, is it about creativity and building on each other's ability? Or you want to have more a focused environment where students work by themselves? Or you want to create a source of inspirations where students absorb as much information and get projected into the future? Last but not least, there are three important things you always need to think about when you plan a workshop, specifically for the online version, because making changes when the workshop is running is more difficult. First, privacy is something you always need to consider beforehand. Control on your students or participants so you need to ask the question, how much freedom do I want them to have? And last, the skill level. How can you make sure it's suitable for everyone? So in the next videos, I will talk about the most common structure, the most common techniques we use to create the right interactions, and I will talk about all the tricks for the back end of running online workshops.